1, 2, 3, clap. Penny Abney. Hi, girl. Welcome to, well, better now, because I get to talk to you. Welcome to, I'm trying to mush all my weird, messy stuff all over the place. Welcome to our Goth Girl Slumber Party.
We're having a slumber party.
We're long distancing it, though, kind of like it's COVID. We're going to play COVID.
It's COVID.
We're going to cosplay COVID. So you're there,
yep.
And I'm here, and that's what we're doing. But we're, okay, so I love you. Thank you for coming and being on the show.
I love you too, and thank you for asking me. I appreciate it very much.
You have been somebody I've known for a long, long time, and the show is called Vyxsin with Friends, right? So first things first, how are we friends?
Oh my gosh. We are friends from an encounter almost 20 beautiful years ago, and we're still kicking it off being sexy as hell.
As hell.
Yeah, we met at Goth night at Club Fusion or Sumpshe's, I think. One or the other. It was a long time ago, but
back in the
dancing. Back in the day.
Give us a state. Give us a state. What state were we even in?
Louisville, Kentucky.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Louisville, Kentucky.
The Ville, the 502.
The 502,
the
baby.
502.
Like, still keeping it real, still keeping it creepy, even. So,
Louisville, the 502, the fabulous 502, where we still have lots of loved ones. But so you and I met. This is a cool story, so I would like you to tell it because it's funny.
Okay, so we were up there. It was Goth night. One of the nights, I cannot remember. I think it was Club Fusion, honestly.
That tracks about right. Yeah, that seems about right.
Yeah, I'm dancing and I'm looking at all the sparkly stuff on the floor, and then I see this glitter. And I turn around and you're wearing your awesome tutu and fishnets and get up the usual casual goth club look.
Like you do, and as one does.
Yes, and then, like, I noticed you're wearing a pair of, like, hot pink, not underpants, but they were your underpants under your underpants.
Over my, yeah.
Yes, because we like to layer. That's what we do in the goth scene.
One must.
And they were hot pink, and they had, like, the tattoo rose with, like, the things, and I was like, holy shit, I'm wearing the same ones.
And but you did. You came up to me, you're like, oh my gosh, we're wearing the same panties. And I was like, oh, yeah, funny. Now, for those not in the goth scene or indoctrinated into this sort of stuff, panties are sort of like an outfit. So under that, you've got like other panties and fishnets and tights and things. It's not what, as untoward as it may seem, but it is sort of cute, I thought. That you were like, and we were both like, woo!
I blame the girl alternative metal scene for that underwear look, like Courtney Love and Babes in Toyland.
Babes in Toyland, exactly. All that stuff. It's super fun. So, by the way, I'm going to do a side note, should you ever go to a goth club and see a girl with an outfit that looks something like that does not give us permission to approach her as if she's a sleazy gal. That's not what this is.
No touchy.
No touchy. There you go. She'll smack you, not in a good way. She knows where to hit you. It'll hurt you.
And unless you give me that gift of the gift
The gift
You
of
know?
called money. Let's go.
Yes, the gift of.
that gift called, or that gift called permission, which is
Right.
a real deal.
Absolutely.
But seriously, what some people don't get is if you go to a scene like that and you're not familiar with it, we do dress how we choose. But personal
Because
space is very
it's our
revered.
safe space.
Exactly. Personal, I was going to say, yes, ma'am. Like personal space, I'm saying ma'am because you got the, I don't want to get in trouble. But personal space is really important to goths. So when you see goths dancing, you might see them doing this, or being like, yeah, back off of us. We don't want you up in our personal bubble. We were
If you're visiting the goth scene,
Yes.
it is unacceptable to come up and start grinding on someone.
No. It's one of the things that's interesting because you're like, well, you're wearing panties as an outfit, and garters and all the fun things and the accoutrement of a burlesque lady or whatever, what have you, a woman of the night. But no, it's not an environment where you come into that and disrespect women or men.
Yep.
Or anyone.
Or them or theys.
Them or theys. Any human. You don't come into that, right? And try to mess with us because we don't really do well with that. Like it's a very.
If you want to disrespect yourself, that's fine, but don't
disrespect us. If you want to visit, no one's going to hate on you, but you've got to understand. Just because someone looks alluring or inviting does not mean you're invited. No. Right? Can we agree on
right?
Yeah.
And I think one of the things too in the goth scene, I think when we go there to dance, and it's you have to think of it as a kind of a Sufi or dervish type.
I've never thought about it. I've never thought about it like that. But I would totally agree with you on that one. Like it really like for us, it's not like bop 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 bop.
It's the music.
Right. And I'm not saying people don't bop around. Sometimes we have our own bop around songs. You know, sometimes there's a certain one that hits you. But that's a really cool way to think about it. I was talking with Noah at my last interview, and we were talking about how goth. I've heard it described as modern romanticism, and that doesn't apply to everybody. But for a lot of us, this is not a religion, really. It's not a religion, right?
Right. Oh, no.
It's not one specific aesthetic, but the music and the culture is sort of like...
It's church to us.
There's even a band called that, isn't there? If I recall, okay. Yeah, there is something about we're communing with ourselves and with each other individually and together.
Yes.
Yes? Is that?
Yeah. Yes.
So anyway, so that's like how we're friends.
We met on the kismet wave of music and fashion.
Oh, I love that you said kismet. Nobody uses that word. It's an underused word. I love that.
It is.
So you have had quite an interesting life as an artist, and I would like you to share like how you feel about that, or what you want to share, because I think your life is so flipping fascinating, but I don't want to So trigger warning if you're a square. This is not your space.
Yeah, this is definitely not kid friendly. This is not kid friendly.
Ride the wave into somebody else's beach.
If you were 18, you need to shut this off, and going to be have us demonetized or anything of the like. So the deal is I have always been like one to just kind of go with the flow of things, and I like to network people together. I'll hear one person over here have ideas and creative ideas, and then I'll hear this person over here, and I like to link them up together. So I kind of started off that way, and somehow I ended up in the world of entertainment in a manner that I never ever thought I would be. In life, we always dream when we're kids about what we want to be when we grow up. I wanted to be a marine biologist. And what I ended up being was a pro dominatrix.
Well, As you do.
Right.
As you do. As one does. These things happen.
But I've done other interesting things too. I started off kind of.
I was gonna ask you to explain what a dominatrix is, because I think there's a lot of misconception around what even is that. You and I know what this is, but a lot of people maybe don't necessarily. Maybe there's misunderstanding. Maybe there's confusion. I'd love for you to share.
Yes.
Like, what is that?
Dominatrix is a person who provides a service under the fetish world of BDSM. BDSM can mean two different things in context. I will leave that to the audience. There's a thing called Google. I don't want to go into
I was
that.
going to say, just Google it. It's fine. You're fine.
Yeah, just Google it. But a dominatrix, there's several different types. Some do provide sexual service where it's legal to do so. And but in other words, the ones who do not are people like me. And I practice BDSM and dominatrix work in the manner of kind of a finding oneself. I help other people find themselves sexually, or almost a type of therapy. It's like being a hairdresser, in a way.
But we're talking about when people don't know what BDSM is.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and field that one. It's, if you don't know what it is, it's probably not for you. And there's a thing called Google, and you can look it up.
Yes.
But what we're talking,
demonetization is a thing. You've got to be kind of.
What we're discussing here is consensual adult activity, right?
Yes. Yes, 100%.
Okay. So we're talking about consensual adult activity, and you, as a job, if I can, provided this for people.
Yes.
In a non, I know you said it's sexual. It's sexy, but it's not sexual in a.
It's non-intercourse. Let's say non-intercourse.
Okay. Maybe I'm trying to figure out how to explain this without being. So okay, you know how some people there's like lots of kind of ice cream, right? And some people like chocolate. Some people like vanilla, some people like strawberries, some people like gelato, some people are vegan and they like sorbet. This is one of the flavors of adult consensual behavior in a bedroom time that people interact with. And one of
or dungeon.
I was trying to be all wholesome and pure about, or dungeon. But or bathroom or what have you, but in a private space where it's consensual and adult. So I think it is important to explain just that a dominatrix or a master or whatever term people use, a mistress or what have you, these people are facilitating a consensual fantasy.
Yes.
Is that fair? Fair to say?
Yes. Facilitating a consensual fantasy that may or may not induce pain.
Right. But, and you may say, oh, if I stub my toe, it hurts. Ouch, it's not fun.
Let me put this in the
How do we explain? I'm going to leave this up to you because I'm trying to.
I think, okay, you grew up and your granny laid a fly swatter to your ass and you loved it.
Well,
but you just can't find a granny with a fly swatter anywhere. So you find a woman or man or
they them,
someone who doesn't, or they them,
yes,
who is very, very, very well versed in the language of the fly swatter.
I think that's about as NC-17 as we can get.
Yes.
Yes. And that is you. You are that gritty. You are that gritty, huh?
Well, I don't mind being granny. If you want it, we're at a slumber party here. We're getting
You know what we are, and guess what? Okay, so you got your snacks. Look what I have. I have popcorn. So here we go. I'm just going to start flinging it because at this point we've gone off the rails as far as I was like, how do I talk about her being a dang dominatrix without getting it weird?
Right. Okay, so
people will watch this and be like, what on earth? Don't worry, I'll trigger this and that because I don't want to have to censor. We are women, we're adults, we're both mothers also.
Yep.
So like this is not, we're not kiddos here. We are, you know.
As a matter of fact, just for the record, my child has never known, she never knew until the day she turned 18 what I was doing.
But why were you doing it? To
provide for my child.
Right.
And when I go on into, and you know, doing that took me interesting places. Like, I was one of the original Suicide Girls.
Yes, you were.
Suicide.
You were.
In the original 100.
Yeah.
And I can now freely say that because the contract's busted. And I don't even know if Suicide Girls is going anymore, but if it is...
if you don't know what that is, again, there's a thing called Google. Just have fun with that.
Yeah. But I was one of the original 100 in Suicide Girls for suicidegirls.com. I modeled for God's Girls. I modeled for Pandemonium. I was in, I think it was a third edition of Gothic Beauty magazine. They featured us. Jane magazine, they featured us. Jane magazine featured us twice. Once at the beginning and once at the ending. So that was really interesting.
And here's where you and I have some interesting overlap. Like, before I was a mother, I was a go-go dancer and a burlesque girl. And which we both know. And most people who know me know that. But like, if you don't, sorry, too bad, so sad. Take my gum out of my mouth. Because I'm going to talk briefly about me. I did different things than you did, but there's a lot of overlap. So like, but yeah,
it's extremely overlap.
Yeah. So I was never a stripper. No offense. I was never a dominatrix. No offense. But I was a go-go dancer and a burlesque girl. So if anyone tries to dig stuff up and go, oh, well, I'm telling you. And I loved that period of my life. I spent like 15 years of my life doing that stuff. And we modeled for some of the similar people. Like I did write and for Gothic Beauty. I did model for Lip Service and Hot Topic and all that stuff. So like, you know, we have a little bit of overlap in some of the companies that we worked for.
I love the Hot Topic lines. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh my God, Vyxsin, I did. I rolled my ass up in Hot Topic when it was still cool, mind you.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing now. I don't want to, say anything mean about them. I'm going to just throw some more popcorn because I'm not sure what to do.
It's a different time and a different job.
It's a different genre. You know what's kind of neat though, is it kind of seems like vintage goth is sort of still throwing popcorn. It's coming back.
It is.
Which I'm excited about. I'm like, yay! Good for you guys. I'm go for it. Like, right?
I'm going to ask you this. Did you ever think you would see the day that goth children would be free?
No.
Me either.
And I would say the same thing about, like, I'm queer, so like queer children or our trans friends, you know, like, I mean, I'm monogamous and I'm in a relationship with the guy behind the camera right over there. He's my man.
Hi, Guy Camera.
Hi, Guy Camera. And you know him. You know him too from Louisville.
I do. He's an excellent human being.
He's an amazing human being. So
he's top shelf.
He is. Oh, that's a good way to put it. Oh, he is top shelf. Now I need to eat something because you're eating something. I got my.
I'm eating chocolate chips and lemonade because
I'm going to chomp.
I got addicted to that.
Is that you've had quite the life. So you're a professional dominatrix, which is really neat. Also, though,
It's interesting.
you did performance stuff.
Yes. I did, well, what they call grinder girl shows. I worked for, we started the Will of the Whip Society in Louisville, Kentucky, which involved a lot of theatrical fetish type stuff. We ended up, and then I ended up going off on my own, touring with like Ministry, My Life with Thrill Kill Cult, a lot of Atlanta's favorite background bands. I did shows down at the Crimson Web Forever, the Lizard Lounge in Austin, Texas. I ended up going as far as Munich, Germany, and just dancing
I'll tell
the
you,
night away.
I feel like I'm doing some weird stuff with my mouth because I ate that one piece of popcorn and I'm regretting it. Your tongue is wild. Like, I'm sorry. But like, no, you were doing that earlier when we were getting set up. And I was like, I've got a piercing, but you are like something else.
I actually had it clipped when I was 8 years old because it caused me to have a speech impediment.
Really?
I couldn't say words like breakfast. Yeah, I couldn't say it because I'd be like, breakfast.
Oh.
Yeah. So I've got a Gene Simmons tongue. Like, I think
really
mine might be actually longer than his. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. Hang on.
Let's go. Let's find out. We're on and there we are.
Okay. Yeah. There you go, world.
There you go, world.
With my tongue. Do not email me.
So here's the deal. So you've done so many neat things. And you're a really kind person. But you've been through a lot of stuff.
Yes.
So anyone watching who's like, Dominatrix, I'd like to mention that you are currently a cancer survivor.
Yes. I had second stage endocarcinoma, and it was a 5-year-long battle. I am now in remission, but cancer has a tendency to wake up things in one's DNA, which now I have Crohn's disease, chronic kidney disorder. I've got a plethora of things going on.
You showed me your pile of pills.
Yes. Like, I have to take injections and infusions weekly. I also have a wonderful thing called hemiplegic migraine disorder. And what that does is the second I start getting a headache, I have a seizure, which can cause me to stroke immediately. So out like a light on forever at any given moment.
So fun for you. And I don't want to dive into the darker parts of your life, but life has not always been kind to you. So
life is not always glitter and grease,
glitter
rainbows
and fun stuff. Yeah.
What is the rainbow and glitter in it, though, is no matter what comes your way, is to just keep pushing, keep going, keep doing, and stay fucking humble. Stay open-minded to other people. If you want to feel cared about, the best way to care about yourself is to care about yourself, but give care to other people, because you never know what somebody's going through. And just because you used to be this great, this, that, and the other, you can have 1,001 accomplishments. We wouldn't have time between you and I. We wouldn't have time in this interview to
I did this. I did that. I was on the red carpet at the Emmys. Who cares? I'm a mom. I've got 3 kids.
Your red carpet Emmys.
It's fun and
Palm
everything.
Springs, USA Channel. Blah 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 blah. There is a list of things that a creative person can do, but at the end of the day, you're just you.
Yes.
And your friends are what's mostly important. The people who've really hung in there for you, the people who care about you, care about where you are today, now, in the moment.
Well, that's one of the things I love. I know it's a little maybe cliche sounding, but I love the expression, your friends are the family you choose. And that is why this show, Because I was thinking for years, I'd love to do, I love watching other people on YouTube. I'd love to do a neat show. And I was like, really the neatest thing about my life, we were talking about this morning, the neatest thing about my life is the people I've gotten the
people
cool
you met.
opportunity to meet and get to know and spend time with over all of these years. It was so neat running into you at the Toriumos concert because I had my daughter with me, my little 8-year-old. And she was like, and you ran up to me, you were like, "This," and I was like, "Oh my," because I didn't know you were going to be there. I mean, we just sort of bonked into each other in the Louisville thing at the show. It was an amazing show, let's just say.
Oh, man, Tori's still tearing up mommy. Let's call her mother. She is the mother.
She's the mother. She is, like, I can't even, like, I lost my virginity listening to Under the Pink, so. And I have it on pink vinyl on my wall. We're a fan.
I think I lost my virginity listening to a washing machine, but
well, like you do. But no, it was so cool to run into you there, and like just being able to share that concert with my daughter and with you and other friends that I've known for so long.
Well, I think what was so awesome running into you there was, back in the day when I was doing things, I started, scouting for bands. I worked Bulldog Records merchandise. I worked for Napalm merchandise, things like that. I was on tours with Ozzy Osbourne, things like that, and I was a young mother.
Yeah.
I was 21 and a mother. And, I was packing my kid around on tour buses. I worked in tattoo shops doing piercing. I did a Jill of all trades, master of none kind of life.
Yeah.
But, I was always trying and searching for my niche, and the niche just drove me. I never wanted to do one specific thing. I wanted to do it all because I love life. I love people, and that,
well, I was going to say the last time I did an event that was like outside of this thing, which is kind of my new thing, was I did a burlesque workshop in Marquette, Michigan, where I used to live. And I had a friend who was babysitting my son. I had my little son with me. And so she was taking him and doing stuff, and he was hanging out with like other kids his age and stuff. And I was like, okay, honey, I got to go do this radio interview and this TV interview for this thing that I'm not going to explain to you.
Right.
And it ended up being really fun, and everyone who attended was just so lovely. But it was like, it's interesting being a mother and a sexual being. And it's like everybody has to find a way through that. Maybe for us, it's a little bit more intense because it's like we're,
there was this
but at the end of the day, we know how to celebrate motherhood.
Because there was this beautiful thing that happened in the 70s and 80s, and it was called the Satanic Panic. They're killing babies out there. Oh, God. Right, And I already lived through that. And so I just decided at some point, because it's no secret in the goth community, especially, you're not like the cool kid at school back in the day. Like, that was not that wasn't the job.
Probably not. We were sort of the weird ones that got made fun of and sort of like lurked in the corner, like,
I mean, they did a whole South Park episode on our asses.
They did, right? We made it to South Park. That means something, right? Like, it says something about us, right?
It's like I'm sitting here flipping through a black and white Chicago alley. Do you remember the Chicago alley pamphlets?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're sitting there.
I think, because Louisville to Chicago is drivable. So we would go and we would shop there, go to clubs there. I did dancing there. Like, yeah.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. So like Fort Wayne and Chi-Town and all those
I have
areas.
a lot of friends
Peoria
that DJ there and yeah, the whole thing.
And believe it or not, weirdly enough, there was a goth scene back in the day in Dayton, Ohio. Of
Oh,
all
I know.
places.
No, well, we used to
Really
go to
neat.
Cincy. We would go, like the DJs and I would go to Cincy. We'd go to Indy because for those of you who may not be aware, Louisville, Kentucky is very centrally located. So it's really cool to like, you can do Atlanta, you can do, I mean, all these different cities are like totally drivable. So we did I did Detroit by myself. Yep. Like, go down to Detroit. I was like, I'll drive to Detroit in the middle of the night and go and drive home.
What I was saying, though, about the coolest thing about running into you and your daughter at Tori Amos for me was validating.
Oh, yes.
And
yeah.
And it was validating for me because I, back in the late 90s and early 2000s, I was already, I'd become a parent that early in life. And everyone I met, no one had kids. They're like, kids, and I'm like, so I didn't know anybody in the scene who had children. Like every now and then I'd meet somebody, but, and then it's like, how do you live your life as a parent and do this at the same time?
Because you and I are not terribly different in age, but our kiddos are wildly different in age. Because you were a young mama, and the fact that
my child's 24 years old this year, so
yeah, right. So the fact that you did the things that you needed to do to provide for your kiddo and still stay true to yourself artistically. And that's a tricky thing. And that's sort of like, again, like this show is sort of like a little bit of that. For me, it's like I've done a lot of writing, which I read to you this morning.
Oh, my God. For those of you who don't know, you need to have Vyxsin read the poetry to you. And if you don't like poetry, well, then at you, because this poetry it needs to be heard. And on my life, I mean that, because she read to me this morning and I just shut my eyes and I listened to her dictation and the things that she said and her experiences. They were all just nail on the head, real and raw, but in the most sumptuous way you could devour a word by ear.
I'm supposed to be interviewing you, making you look good.
No. I think it's important for everybody to lift each other. Otherwise, we get nowhere.
That's the goal, right? Like the world's full of so much scary stuff. I love like making it better.
I'm scared to death
in my own little small way.
I'm scared to death that social media is going to kill the reverence of lifting one another in the creative
let me tell you what it's not going to do is destroy the reverence here. And here's why. I have awesome friends. Hence,
you know what?
Vyxsin with friends and celebrating my cool, interesting friends. And now, little friend, I am going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and introduce you. Because we didn't do the questions. And hi, little fluffer.
Wait, I got to show you this for our slumber party.
Oh, please do.
This is a mystery dreadful bat is what they're called.
Ooh.
And it's the anxiety bat. If you go online, this is not my store, but if you go online, you can find these anxiety bats. And the reason that this one's an anxiety bat is because in his back, he has a little pouch, right? And inside, people with ADHD and anxiety, because this is ADHD anxiety bat, which is the chaos symbol, right?
Oh, okay, cool.
His insides are filled with bees.
Oh, I love that. That's so cute. I love that. I love that. Well, we around here we love stuff that's like tactile and things like that. Like we just say it's satisfying, Yes. So yeah. Okay. So here we go. Ready, Freddie? I'm in no specific order. I'm just gonna go play, but I'm trying to find the first ones. Okay, here we go. They're really in no specific order. Like, All right. It's a slumber party. We're having fun. It's fine. I just want to make sure they're all facing the same way. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. Miss Penny Abney. Get ready for the Vyx quiz in whatever
Oh my
iteration.
God, I'm scared to death.
You've got it. It's gonna be just fine. I promise. You've been through quite a life. I'm pretty sure you can handle the quiz.
Yes. Yes.
It is not it is not intended to ensnare you or entrap you. It's intended to be fun and silly. Ready?
All right, let's do this.
What moment or moments make you feel the most alive?
When I'm dancing and listening to music with friends.
What a good answer.
When I am dancing, when I am dancing the night away. I seriously, when I am at the club with friends and or my child dancing and listening to music is
It's
life,
just joy.
literally.
It's just joy. It's just joy. Yeah, my boyfriend's a musician. I'm not a musician. Boyfriend is, I'm not, but
I'm a little bit of a musician.
Well, I can sing. La 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 la. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Old Mr. Penny had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. On that farm she had a pig. E-I-E-I-O. And it went ka-ching here, ka-ching there. Anyway.
Well, I actually did musical theater and stuff. I can sing it, but not like, you know how there's certain people who just are like a musician?
Yeah.
That's not me. Okay, but I love music and I love dancing and I'm with you. I feel alive then too. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Where would you prefer to spend your time? Indoors or outdoors?
Outdoors, if I have a parasol and I'm in the deepest, darkest woods with all the ravens, because I love feeding wild ravens. I am a peanut packer, no salt, never give them ones with salt. I love being in the woods.
This isn't a joke. You're not quote the
No,
I saw on your wall you actually have a quote the raven nevermore.
I'm crazy about, not because I'm goth either, but corvids in general are just an interesting bird. And they're extremely intelligent and they remember what humanity and or other animals do to them. So if you're good to them, they will be good to you back. And you can really develop a deep relationship with these animals in the wild. You can go on YouTube and see endless hours of people just feeding ravens and or any type of corvid or magpie in other countries. You know, they're just really interesting. So I love spending my time going on like walking trails where I don't find a lot of people. I go in the deep, deep, deep southern woods, honey, and I just walk through the trees and I remember who I am.
Well, it's especially a good way to spend your time when you're pining for your lost Lenore.
Yes.
No, but I love that. I live like not in the city and not in the country. So
Same.
I hear you.
Same.
So we see stuff all the time. It's like, oh, look, there's a snake and there's a this and there's a bird and there's a, you know.
Now, if you would have asked me this question when I lived in Atlanta or in Fort Wayne, I would have told you indoors.
This is my follow-up question. So you said you prefer outdoors, but where do you actually in real life spend most of your time?
Indoors and outdoors when I can.
Yeah.
Because I am ill. I am a very ill person. I look great today because I'm got a pile
You do
on
look
makeup.
really pretty. You look really pretty. You look pretty with or without the makeup. You're good to go. You are a glamour puss. Okay, here we go. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
If you could, okay, next question. If you could travel anywhere in the world, money's no object, anywhere, where would you like to go?
Oh, wow. I would love to go to Assyria. Old Assyria.
Well, no, don't do the time thing because that's the
Like,
next question.
Greece. Greece.
No, just
I'm gonna go to
Greece.
Greece.
You're messing it up, Penny. You're ruining all my plans.
I want to go to Greece.
Greece, great, awesome. Next question. If you could travel when
Oh,
in time.
Oh,
Where would you go?
Okay.
I was reading it.
I want to
Do
go
tell.
to Assyria, and I want to witness Babylon and the rise of Babylon, and I want to know Semiramis, the mother of Nimrod from the Bible, because that bitch is owed money.
All right. I wasn't trying to shut you down. I was like, just wait, let me get it.
Oh, okay.
I
Sorry.
was like, I got you. Okay, here we go. Okay, we got these ones. Okay, so here we go. This is one I really like. Ready? Okay. You are a person who's lived quite an extensive life, as have I. Give us some advice. One piece of advice. I advise you as a mother, an artist, a person. I advise you, if I could tell you one thing, please this. What would you suggest?
Stay humble. Stay humble and be you, because even if you strive and strive, you'll find yourself losing grip with who you are at some point, and it will really do some damage. I advocate therapy in the biggest way. But staying humble and staying kind and true to yourself and really learning how to love you as you are, the person who you were before you strive to do all the things. Stay humble. And it will guide you to being kind to others.
I love that. Okay. Advice to avoid. Whatever you do, don't X, Y, and Z. So we did aspire, now we're doing avoid. No. Whatever you do, don't
believe half of what you see and nothing that you hear.
That's good. So believe half of what you see. And say that again. That was good.
Half of what you see and nothing that you hear.
I like that. That's very good. All right, here we go. Ready? So, what's your favorite quote? It could be a song or something somebody told you, or.
Oh gosh, my favorite quote is actually a really long one, so I'll give you the title of it. It's the Desoterra by Max Ehrmann. Go placidly amidst the noise and haste. Remember how to be kind and generous. It's a really long.
but go placidly and be kind and generous.
Yes.
I like that. So that is a really good quote. Okay. This is one that I made up the other day, but I think it's really good. We're down to 2. So you're in the home stretch. All right. So I somehow wronged you or hurt your feelings. How do I make it up to you?
Just say you're sorry and come and hang out. That's that.
All right. I didn't wrong her in real life.
No, you've never wronged me. You're a sweet person.
I'm just curious, because certain people have different. Okay, so here we go. All right, last one. Ready? Okay. You are a human. We can agree. Sometimes.
Are we sure?
Sometimes. You present as a human. Let's say you can no longer live on land. Would you rather live beneath the waters or up in the sky? So beneath the waters or up in the sky. Where would you feel the most at home?
Beneath the water. The ocean is endless, and it's also like life. We don't know what's there or ahead of us, and it can be dark and scary, but it can also be the most beautiful, discoverable place ever, and it's right here. That's
really cool sounding. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and sign us off. I'll call you in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and sign us off. So I want to thank you, Penny Abney, for sharing
Thank
with
you.
us your fascinating life. And also thank you for being a dear friend. And so
Thank you.
sending love and hugs to you and
This
everyone.
was a lot of fun.
Was it fun? Yay! I had fun too. I did. I had fun throwing popcorn. I'm going to have to clean it up later, but I'm going to throw some more popcorn. Hold on. Wait. I got a second left here. No, I've got more popcorn. Hold on. Here we go.
I have stuffed animals.
Here we go. Woo! Slumber party! God, girl! Slumber party! Woo! I had fun with you. I love you so much, Penny Abney. Thank you for your time. And love and hugs to you and everyone that you care about. Mwah. Take care.
All right. Everybody stay real out there.
Nighty night. Sleep tight.
Night, night. I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you all for joining us once again for another installment of Vyxsin with Friends. Extra special thank you to the singular, delightful, lovely lady who is Penny Abney. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment below. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And in the meantime, take care, be well, and stay spooky.